Hey everybody, how's it going? Josh here, and today we're going to talk about how the Living Tribunal could appear in Avengers Endgame. Now, I've seen this theory around a lot of places, and it keeps getting repopulated over and over again. I think some people just like talking about the Living Tribunal because he's a pretty cool character, but it does have a basis. And in the original Avengers Infinity Gauntlet storyline, Thanos, of course, just like in the movie, wipes out half of all existence in the universe, except for, obviously, there's various changes with regards to the characters involved, like Adam Warlock. And speaking of Adam Warlock, afterwards, he eventually gained the Infinity Gauntlet from Thanos and was eventually approached afterwards by the Living Tribunal. And the Living Tribunal basically said, look, the Infinity Gauntlet is too powerful, it's too dangerous to ever be used like that again. So split up the gems, don't reunite the gems, don't use the gauntlet in, coordination with the gems ever again, no matter what the circumstance. And that, surprisingly, in comics, most of those things don't really stick in comics, maybe for like a year or two, and then some new event comes along, and they use that moment to basically act like a huge deal, and they say it's a huge deal. Well, they show us it's a huge deal, I guess you should say, by having them break the Living Tribunal's rule. But unlike that, it actually stuck for a while in comics until more recently when the Incursion event was going on, I believe, where they finally regathered all the gems, put it in the Infinity Gauntlet, tried using it to go against the Incursions, but if you read the storyline, you would find out it didn't work for squat, basically. But the Living Tribunal is extraordinarily powerful, really powerful character in Marvel Comics. Only being stronger, that we can clearly tell, is the one above all who made the Living Tribunal, which is kind of like the god of Marvel Comics for the whole multiverse, and also at the same time the Beyonders. And that's just because the Beyonders, it's a really weird cosmology. It's actually really interesting in my opinion, but the cosmology for Marvel Universe pretty much has certain things existing in exospace, like the wild white space outside of all creation, outside of the multiverse, things like that. And there's a theory actually that the Beyonders started from the super adaptoids, and they kept adapting, became the map makers, kept adapting more and more and more, and eventually became the Beyonders, which is why the Beyonders have the powers they kind of do with regards to mimicry in some respects, or reality warping. And it's also kind of talked about here and there during Hickman's run. I'm not going to get into it in here. If you guys are really interested in, though, maybe I could do a video going really in depth about the Beyonders and their powers and their origins, all that cool stuff, because it's actually really cool. But getting back to the Living Tribunal, part of his responsibility is to ensure that balance is across the various universes. One universe can't be a lot more powerful than another universe. If it were to threaten another universe, that kind of thing, there has to be a balance between all the universes in the multiverse, and it's Living Tribunal's role to ensure that balance across the multiverse. That is a really interesting thing that might be played upon, considering Thanos and his trying to get balance definitely unbalanced the universe. I don't think there's any way to slice it up and say he balanced the universe, even though in his personal mind he thinks he did. And another interesting thing is that in the comics, the first human to ever meet the Living Tribunal was technically Doctor Strange, which would actually fit into rumors that Doctor Strange talks to a heavy CGI character that's supposedly not Dormammu. And if it was revealed to be the Living Tribunal, it could be possible he gives Doctor Strange an option to basically help undo the events of the universe by a certain point, or the universe will be destroyed. And this would be interesting because technically it would bring a bigger threat than Thanos to the picture, kind of confirming rumors that have been going around for a while. But at the same time, Thanos would still be the main antagonist, because they'd be going against Thanos to obviously undo what he was doing and probably prevent him from trying to stop them, while at the same time they'd be going against the Living Tribunal in a sense, because he's basically kind of just holding one of those sands of time things, and if they don't get done in time, he'll destroy the universe. Now, the Living Tribunal could also be reinterpreted in the MCU as, instead of a multiverse arbitrator, a universal one. Now, I don't really think they'd probably do this with the Living Tribunal, because I think with how they set up Doctor Strange in the multiverse, they're going to want to take advantage of that in some capacity. But at the same time, it'd be really cool to still get the Living Tribunal in any way, shape, or form. It'd be really cool also if they kind of did a thing where the Living Tribunal was really Stan Lee, but I still would rather have Stan Lee be a Watcher, even though they kind of did their own Watchers already. But Hey, who knows? But comment below your guys' thoughts. What do you guys think about the Living Tribunal? Would you like him to be in Endgame? Could you care less about the Living Tribunal? Maybe some other cosmic entity? Comment below, and we'll see you guys later.